Did you know that insomnia affects 1 in 3 adults at some point in their lives? That's right. 1/3 of us are lying there at night, staring at the ceiling, desperately trying to fall asleep, while our brains are like, nope. We're gonna stay up and think about every awkward moment you've ever had instead. But insomnia is way more than just a bad night's sleep. It's a real condition that tricks our brains into staying awake when we really should be sleeping. Hello, friends, and welcome to Brainwaves. Today, we're diving into the science of insomnia. Why our brains keep us awake even when we're exhausted, and what we can do to break free from its clutches. So grab a pillow and a cozy blanket, because I might make you sleepy. And let's get started. Section 1. What is insomnia? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is insomnia? Insomnia is a condition where you either have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or both, despite the perfect conditions for sleep. You've got a comfy bed, a dark room, you're totally tired, but for some reason, sleep just doesn't come. You're left wide awake. Again. Insomnia is more than just having a random sleepless night. It's a chronic problem. People with insomnia often find themselves awake night after night, and it starts to creep into their daily lives, affecting everything from their mood to their ability to concentrate. Imagine trying to function on a few hours of broken sleep. Not fun, right? It's like your body is saying, let's sleep. But your brain is saying, let's analyze everything you've ever done wrong. Thanks, brain. Super helpful. Section 2. The impact of insomnia on daily life. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so a little lost sleep can't be that bad, right? Wrong. Chronic insomnia affects your entire life, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Let's break it down. First off, productivity. When you're not getting enough sleep, your brain can't function at its best. This means your memory gets fuzzy, your reaction time slows, and making decisions feels like you're wading through mud. Studies have shown that sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function and makes it harder to focus. Then there's your health. Lack of sleep messes with your immune system, making you more vulnerable to illnesses. Long-term, it can even increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Sleep isn't just rest for your body. It's critical for your brain's ability to repair itself and function properly. And let's not forget the emotional toll. Chronic insomnia is linked to anxiety and depression. In fact, insomnia and mental health issues are often intertwined, creating a vicious cycle. The more anxious you get about not sleeping, the harder it becomes to sleep. Section 3. How your brain tricks you into staying awake. All right, here's where it gets interesting. Why does this happen? Why does your brain fight sleep even when you're tired? It turns out the brain is a complex machine. And when it comes to sleep, it's not always on our side. A big culprit in insomnia is how our brain processes neurotransmitters. These are chemicals that transmit signals in your brain. The two main ones involved in sleep are GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, which promotes relaxation and sleep, and glutamate, which keeps you alert and awake. Normally, your brain would release more GABA as it gets closer to bedtime, telling your body it's time to wind down. But when you have insomnia, this process gets disrupted. Stress, anxiety, or even certain medications can lower GABA production or increase glutamate, making it harder to fall asleep. Basically, your brain gets confused. Instead of saying, "Let's relax," it's like, "Nope, let's replay that embarrassing thing you did in high school one more time." Thanks, brain. Section 4. The role of stress and lifestyle in insomnia. Another huge factor in insomnia is stress. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that keeps you alert. This is great if you're running from a bear, but not so great when you're trying to fall asleep. If you're constantly stressed, whether it's from work, relationships, or just life in general, your cortisol levels stay high, making it difficult for your brain to switch into sleep mode. But the more you struggle with insomnia, the more stressed you become about not sleeping. You start to worry about how tired you'll be tomorrow, which keeps your cortisol levels high, and the cycle continues. It's a vicious loop that feeds itself. And it's not just stress. Lifestyle factors play a big role too. Things like drinking too much caffeine, staying up late scrolling through social media, I see you, or not having a regular sleep schedule can all trick your brain into staying awake. Your body loves routine, and when you disrupt that routine, your brain doesn't know when it's supposed to sleep anymore. Section 5. Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia, CBTI. So, how do we break this cycle? One of the most effective treatments for insomnia, something called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. This is a specialized type of therapy that helps you identify and change the negative thought patterns and behaviors that are keeping you awake. For example, you might have a habit of looking at the clock every time you wake up in the middle of the night thinking, "Ugh, it's 3 a.m. I'm never going to fall back asleep." That thought creates anxiety, which makes it even harder to sleep. CBTI teaches you to reframe those thoughts. Instead of stressing about the time, you learn to tell yourself, "It's okay, I'll get back to sleep soon." Basically, it's about tricking your brain into calming down. Think of it like Jedi mind tricks, but for sleep. On top of CBTI, there are a few other strategies that can help trick your brain into relaxing, like practicing good sleep hygiene. It's about creating the right environment and habits for sleep. Here are a few tips. Stick to a regular sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Limit screen time before bed. The blue light from phones and computers tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, which messes with your sleep cycle. Create a calming bedtime routine. This could be reading, taking a warm bath, or doing some light stretching. Anything that tells your brain it's time to wind down. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals before bed. The key is breaking that vicious cycle. Whether through therapy, lifestyle changes, or relaxation techniques, you have to retrain your brain to stop associating bedtime with anxiety. Section 8. Summary and final thoughts. All right, let's recap. Insomnia is a condition that tricks your brain into staying awake even when you're exhausted. It messes with your productivity, your health, and your mental well-being. The main culprits are stress, neurotransmitter imbalances, and poor sleep habits, all of which feed into a vicious cycle that keeps you from getting the rest you need. It's kind of like when you're super tired, but your brain is like, you know what we haven't thought about in a while? That embarrassing thing you said in 2012. Thanks, brain. Very cool. But the good news is, there are ways to break free from insomnia. Through CBTI, relaxation techniques, and better sleep hygiene, you can retrain your brain to get back on track and finally get a good night's sleep. If you've ever struggled with insomnia, drop a comment down below. What's helped you? Or what's kept you awake at night? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified. So next time you find yourself lying awake, know that you're not alone, and there's always a way to outsmart insomnia. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.